Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Victory for us in the struggle of Nigeria. Victory for us. Forward never, backward never. Let us retreat. Yeah, there is victory for us. There is victory for us. There is victory for us. In the struggle of Nigeria, there is victory for us. There is victory for us. There is victory for us. In the struggle for Nigeria, there is victory for us.
Greatest Nigerian people.
Great.
Greatest Nigerian people.
Great.
There's nothing here. These are the people we are talking to.
There's no harm.
Articulate Nigerian people.
Articulate.
Yes, we are activists. We are members of the civil society in Abuja and from Lagos. What we are here to do is to intimate the public about the violation of human rights as it has now become a trend in Nigeria. It has become fashionable for these governments to disobey court orders like they change underwears. It has become something fashionable in this regime that human rights of Nigerians are trampled upon. What we have come here to do is to intimate the public about the abduction of a journalist, a renowned former presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore. We all know about this case. And on Tuesday, the same court that ordered the DSS after he was abducted in Lagos State and transferred to Abuja, the same court that ordered the DSS to detain him for 45 days, have ordered that same DSS to release him immediately with just a condition, and the condition is that he should drop his international passport within 48 hours. This was done, in fact, less than 24 hours. That's bail condition. But still today, Omoyele Sowore is still being held at the facility of the Department of State Security, DSS, here in Abuja. And what we are saying is that if we are not careful in this country, it will get to a point that, in fact, on WhatsApp, we may not be able to hold meetings anymore. We may not be able to hold anything, even on Facebook, Twitter, because the clampdown is just going to increase and it's just going to increase. One of the charges against this man, one of the charges against Omoyele Sowore is that he insulted Buhari. Quite embarrassing, we all know. One of the charges is that is money laundering. That he laundered his own money from his bank account to Sahara Reporters Media Foundation bank accounts. We are not oblivious of the fact that this same trend did not start today. The late Chief Gani Fawemi was charged for stealing his own camera. Fela was charged for carrying his own money laundering by this same Buhari. So what we are saying is that this regime should obey court order. The court has ordered that Sowore should be freed immediately. And this regime has no reason for holding him anymore. Just yesterday, those Nigerian people, just yesterday, the DSS claimed that they have not gotten any court order, which is a lie. Because the lawyer of Sowore, that's the respected Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, himself was at the DSS facility to submit, to serve on them the court order, and also his international passport. Let me tell you as fellow Nigerians that we are just on a queue for tyranny. If we are not careful, when they take away the person who is on the queue now, the next person on that line will be taken. It's as simple as that.
That's right.
As we have it today, Agbajalingo in Cross River State also is being held in detention.
That's right.
For exposing corruption of 500 million naira by Cross River State governor. As I'm talking to you right now, a protester in Osun State, Olawale Adebayo, is also under detention for protesting, for asking that we must have a country that works for everybody and not for a few. That we must have a country that becomes a country that the economy is for everybody. And we must take back our country from those who have turned Nigeria to Nigeria PLC or Nigeria Limited, that it only works for them. These are our serious issues. These are the issues we raise. We have also raised that there should be a democratic end to killing and insurgency in Nigeria. That this insurgency, this terrorism that is going left, right, and center in this country has become a business. And that is why terrorism, they are fighting terrorism, they are fighting this all as difficult to end. We are saying let them be a head to systemic corruption. The amount of money that gets missing from Nigeria every day. David Cameron, the former Prime Minister of UK, said that if half of that money gets missing from the UK economy, that UK will cease to exist. So we should then start asking ourselves questions. That is this the kind of country we want? Where our children cannot go to school? Where you cannot sleep and close your eyes? Where you cannot be sure that if you go out in the morning, you will come back safe and sound? Where when you go to hospitals, the only thing you get from doctors is medical advice. You don't get treatment in our hospitals anymore. That's the truth. Thank you. They are testing to it. You don't get treatment in our hospitals anymore. What you get is medical advice. And when the doctor advises you, after some time, if the thing does not go, he will tell you to consult, to go and pray. That you go and pray. Or you go spiritual. That is not the kind of country we want. But the president and the cabal and the people who are in charge of Nigeria PLC will be on the next flight to India, the next flight to London, the next flight to Dubai, people when they have headache. That is not the kind of country we want. The country that is going to work for you, the country that is going to work for me. And these are the issues that Omoyele Sowore himself has raised. These are the issues he has raised with the drug start revolution now. So what we are saying is that you have illegally assaulted this man. Today makes it the 55th day he has been in DSS detention for calling for a Nigeria that works for everybody. And then we'll go to court, as people have been saying, go to court, go to court. So we've gone to court. And in court on Tuesday, the judge of the Federal High Court Abuja ruled that he should be released immediately. Because you have no charges against this man. Release him, let him submit his international passport, and anytime you need it for trial or any other thing, he will be reproduced. He will be produced rather in court. But till today, the DSS are still holding him. They have denied even his lawyer access to him. They have restricted access to Omoyele Sowore as I'm speaking to you right now. Why we are saying all of this is because in a country where you claim you have democracy, but you have to wait for a superior order after a court order, that is not a country. That is not democracy. That is chongocracy. That is not democracy. It's a chongu already. Where you have to wait for an order after a court order. That's right. The court is, in fact, is the last hope for a common man. But today, and that is why we have so many people here. They've institutionalized poverty to that point that you don't even see fighting for human rights as something that is worthwhile. Because it is until when you see yourself as human, that is when you can fight for human rights. So intentionally, they've made poverty, they've weaponized poverty to that point that people cannot fight for their rights anymore. And these are many, many issues we are raising in the Revolution Now protest. That Nigerians in the north, in the east, in the west, in the south, everybody must come together and chart a new course for ourselves. And to say enough is enough to tyranny. Enough is enough to the killings. Yes. See, you don't have to be a protester, you don't have to be an activist these days before you are killed violently in Nigeria. The only criterion is that just be a Nigerian. And maybe you are poor. I am not different from the people who are being killed in the northeast almost every day. You and I, we are not different from that court member who was killed in Abuja during the Shai and police clash. I'm not different from people who go to hospitals who are killed because there are no facilities there. At some hospitals and some medical centers today, if you go with one sickness, you will go back with like 5 of other sicknesses, other illnesses. So it is what we have today that we do not have a country. That is the truth. And we must chart a new course for ourselves. We must sit down, devoid of all political affiliations, devoid of all ethnic affiliation, devoid of all religious affiliation. See, let us talk about the way to understand that.
We are here at the
Hunger, no understand, I will stand, no understand, people, not to be Yoruba. Hunger na hunger. Poverty na poverty.
Trust
you don't know say you speak another language.
to tell the
And these
what is
people, when they
happening
come from Nigeria, they say
from
united.
Omoyele Sowore
The only time when they
two other
fight, now
members
when
of
this
our
is
civil
safe,
society
sharing formula,
and the radical political parties.
money equally. They don't
Yes,
fight.
we want to say directly that
So we will be the masses. When we
DSS
suffer this
should
support,
immediately
when we the people
listen
when
to
they
the
suffer
position
this,
of the court. The court has ruled on September 24th by Justice Taiwo, which was broadcasted all over the country, that Omoyele Sowore should be immediately released and that he should drop his international passport. He has dropped his international passport. He should be the DSS was able to collect his international passport, but have not been able to release him. The DSS were able to collect all the conditions that were needed for the bill, and now they have not released him. In fact, Mr. Festival has been in the past 3 days. Mr. Festival has been in the what we are saying is that Nigeria is not a dungeon. Nigeria is not a barrack. That President Muhammadu Buhari should order the DSS with immediate effect to listen to the court order, because all the court is enshrined in the Nigerian constitution, and we have, because of the rule of law, the federal government and the DSS. It's not above the law. It should immediately listen to the voices of that.
There is no respect for justice. There is no respect for democracy. There is no respect for freedom of expression. There is no respect for freedom of association. And when all these things are taken away, the next thing is anarchy. When you take away all of these tenets of democracy from any society, what you are telling people is that they should go and carry guns. What we have today is a government that negotiates openly with terrorists. A government that negotiates openly with bandits, with headmen. That is the kind of government we have today. But with activists, you will pick up activists because they don't have guns. But you negotiate with people who are killing. That is not the kind of country I want. And I'm sure that is not the kind of country you want. And that is why we are making this message very clear to every lover of justice. We are making this message very clear for everyone who stood and fought for the democracy that we are enjoying today. Even though it is disguised as civilian dictatorship. Because what we have is not democracy. For those who fought, sweat, blood for all of this, we must stand our ground and say we are not going back into military rule. We are not going back to where we came from. And this country must be free. A luta continua. A luta continua. Solidarity forever. The people united can never be defeated.
never be defeated. A people united can never be defeated. A people united can never be defeated.